Hey, Wichita, we are back with Coffee Break. I am your co-host, Officer Chad Ditch, and
I'm your host, I guess, Officer Trevor Macy.
How you been, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I guess it's pink today.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
That's true. We are recording on Wednesday.
Today is a Wednesday.
Yep.
Anybody who gets that reference and can name it in the comments, they can... I don't know. I'll give him a high five.
Next time I don't even get the reference.
You don't get that reference?
What was the reference? I missed it.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Yep. Totally don't get the reference. You guys see that stash coming in clean, though? It looks good, man.
Speaking of stashes, I went and saw Top Gun finally.
Really?
Yeah.
The new one, right?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
I've seen the old one like a million times. New one, solid. Yeah. Great movie. Lots of action. Fun stuff.
Out of 10, what do you give it?
9.3.
Bro, I gave it an 11.
11?
Bro.
Off the scale.
Yeah, off the scale. I don't know, like, how they could have got better. Really don't.
Yeah, see, the
like
thing
Meg
is,
Ryan coming back? I don't know.
You got to try hard to get a 10 from me. Like, there's only 2 movies I think I've ever given a 10.
What you got?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Facts.
And Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Okay, they didn't know.
That movie.
You're right. That room, it blew up. It was a bomb. Just dropped.
It was Oscar nominated, Chad. It's not a bomb.
That just means some guy named Oscar nominated it. They don't even know who Oscar is.
That's not how the Oscars work, Chad.
That's
not. No, there's a process.
Is there?
That's what I've been told.
Oscar has like 9 friends, and then they just...
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, man. So we got a little different thing going on today. You want to talk about it?
I mean... Sure.
Or I can talk about it. You want me to talk about it?
I mean, this was your kind of brainchild.
So last week we had Sergeant Elmore with Divert on the show. And then after, when I sent the YouTube link out to the officers or the detectives that work with them, they were like, how come they have to bring their own coffee?
Yeah.
So now this week we're going to supply our guests with a cup of coffee of their choice. And it's all under our budget. So
courtesy of me, because we don't have a budget for this podcast. Yeah. So I bought the coffee.
That's it.
You Venmo'd me. So
I Venmo, yeah. It was we split
tag team effort.
And then they were like, "You guys need to put some stuff on display and stuff like that." So that's how
this nice wicker.
Yeah. Hey, don't come. My wife bought this little wicker thing. So
I like that. Where'd she get that?
I think Walmart.
Okay.
So yeah. And then we put on display little coffee stuff and everything. So in the comments, let us know what you think. So I need at least 5.
Spruce it up. Make it look like we have a little bit more production value for this thing.
Yeah, man. So
did you have a good Father's Day?
Bro, I had an amazing Father's Day. So my mom actually, she got me this one. Then I wanted to give her a shout out because she was like, "You better shout me out."
Why does everybody sound like
I don't know. That's just my voice. But it's cool. It's from the Valhalla Project.
Okay.
The 22 a day reference veteran suicide and stuff. So it just says the dad, it's a son's first hero and a daughter's first love.
Aw.
So, all right, little teary-eyed. Awesome. I'm going to shut up before I get choked up. But no, I'm just joking. So
there's no crying on this podcast.
There's no crying on the podcast.
Or baseball.
So, but yeah, I got that from my mom. And then my wife and kids got me these. Have you seen those? I think they're tiles, but pictures that you can stick and peel onto your wall.
Oh yeah, I saw those in your office.
Yeah, so I got 12 of them, man, for a pretty good deal. So
that's awesome.
Yep. So I got that, man, just chilled.
Cool, man.
So I know you're not a dad, you're an uncle, but did you enjoy your Father's Day weekend, or not your Father's Day weekend, but did you enjoy Father's Day weekend?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was out of town, so we didn't hang out.
That's messed up.
I mean, I texted him. I said, "Hey, I love you. Happy Father's Day." He was fishing, so he was having a good time.
That's a good time.
Went and saw my grandpa, helped fix a well.
Yeah,
that was Well is a deep subject.
Is that your dad joke?
It's my dad joke for the day.
There you go.
In honor of Father's Day. So we got we have a dad on the podcast today.
We do.
Speaking of dads,
we do.
Officer Tim Wescott coming on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we really don't care about Tim.
But he's a dog dad.
He is a dog dad too. Well, actually, he's a real dad too. But
he's a real dad and a dog.
But he's a dog dad.
It's our first canine.
Yep.
Handler
with Mantra.
Mantra. You may have seen Mantra on our social media. We've posted quite a few pictures of her.
She even did a TikTok.
She did do a TikTok.
What's that TikTok song?
I don't know.
It's like
jiggle, jiggle. I like it. My money don't jiggle, jiggle. Yeah. That was trending at the time we made that. So.
Yeah, it's still trending a little bit, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. What you been doing this week?
Just catching up on work. I was off for like 4 days. So.
Bro, it felt like you were gone a month.
That's how it always feels when I'm gone. There's an emptiness. There's a void that can't be filled by anything. So
yeah. Are you an NBA fan?
No.
I'm usually not because they don't really play defense until like I don't know the finals. But that wrapped up over the last week. So
the NBA finals.
Yep, the Warriors won another title.
I heard that.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, good for them.
4 titles for Steph, Clay, guys. And Draymond Green. So
when are we gonna get an NBA team,
bro? That would be so cool. NBA.
I heard they're trying.
That's what I've heard.
Kansas City's trying.
They just announced about the new hotel that's gonna go up
there. Oh
yeah,
the Wind Surge
looks nice.
That looks really nice.
Super nice.
It'd be cool to see that all come together.
I'm really excited to see what the skyline from home plate is gonna look like, because like that hotel is gonna take up just next to the right field foul line, which is behind first base for anybody that doesn't know baseball.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I think they're still gonna have that main view from the home plate, but they're also supposed to be putting some shops out there in that parking lot where the church is. Yeah, because that church got sold. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool, man. Like to see what the city right there will look like come 2025. Like the whole Delano district itself.
Yeah, the renders that they have for that look amazing. Yeah, so I'm excited to see it.
Do you have a favorite spot in Delano that you like to go to?
The Monarch.
Really? Is that the one that's on the corner?
You've never been to the Monarch?
No.
It's on the corner by the roundabout. They have an outside patio. Yes. They smoke a bunch of meats in-house. They have some of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life. Their Cuban sandwich, so good. Chef's kiss, man. That is
Chef's kiss.
Just a magnificent sandwich. Yeah. I had their French dip a couple weeks ago, too. We got to stop talking about food so much on this podcast.
I just said, what's your favorite spot? You brought up food.
Of course, it's going to be a place like, hey, what's your favorite spot?
Milk Float's pretty good.
I knew you were going to say Milk Float.
Yeah. I get my tattoos done over there, not at Milk Float.
That's
symbolic right down there.
That's right. You did that.
So, but yeah, I like it. I like everything about Delano. I like how it's upcoming and everything. Yeah. So, but
excited to see that growth. I think, should we get Tim on here? See you in studio now?
Mantra too. So hopefully. You think we'll get her a chair? Or you think she'll probably just want to lay down?
She may just want to lay down. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how that works out. We'll get a refill, and we'll be right back with Officer Wescott and Mantra.
And we're back with Officer Tim Wescott and Mantra laying down there just relaxing. Tim, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. I know
you're
a busy
clear,
guy.
Mantra is the main focus here.
Yeah, I'm just her driver.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we're really here for Mantra. If she could,
I could get her here safely.
Right. So, we ask the same question to almost every guest. Man, you're not going to hurt our feelings at all, but have you seen the podcast?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
He's heard of it.
Hey, that's
high marks.
I've watched it. Yeah, I've watched it once or twice. Yeah.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Well, so the goal is to just let the community know, man, like who the person is as opposed to the officer. But one cool thing about your position is this is our first canine that we're going to have on the show. Mm-hmm. So introduce yourself, man. Tell us who Tim is. Tell us about Mantra and what you do for the department.
Yeah, so my name is Tim Wescott. I've been I started in the academy in June of 2014 and graduated in November of 2014 from the academy. And so I've been out on the streets for about 7.5 years so far. I started out on third shift out west, Patrol West. I did that for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then I went to fourth shift for a year. And then I got on our community response team in 2017, I think is when it was.
Okay.
So I did that. I was on our community response team out west for 3.5 years. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of really good spot. Worked with some really good people, and it's fun. It's a good spot to you have a lot of freedom to do self-initiated stuff, and I really enjoyed that. It was a good challenge for me. And then in July of just last year, 2021, I got Mantra.
Okay.
So Mantra is an explosive detection canine through a partnership with the ATF. Mm-hmm. So she's commonly referred to as a bomb dog.
Yeah.
But in addition to looking for explosives, she can also help find guns and spent cartridge casings, shell casings as well.
Really?
So that's where we get the most use out of her is is looking for casings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she's grown to be quite proficient at that, which is very useful. But it's a good mental challenge for me. I really enjoy I wasn't prepared for it, but it's also one of my favorite spots is the mental challenge of working a dog, because I'm constantly trying to think, did I do something wrong? Am I messing something up? Wasn't something not there, or did she miss it? Did I get her in the productive area, or did I put her in the right spot? Did I miss some body language or stuff like that? So that's the mental aspect of it that I wasn't maybe quite ready for, but I really enjoy that part of it as well.
Yeah.
So, it's a good spot.
How old is Mantra?
She's 3 years old. Okay. Mantra started out as a guide. She was going to be a guide dog through the Guide Dog Foundation. That's where she started out as, Mantra loves water. She will go swimming. If she sees water, the game's over.
The game's over.
She wants to go swimming. I could have a bucket of food, and if you gave her the choice between a bucket of food and water, she'd go swimming every day.
That's all.
She'll swim for an hour if you let her, and she's just over there drinking and eating all the water. And when I was in training with her in Virginia, we would take the dog swimming when it got really hot. And all the dogs would come and go, and every time Mantra would get to the edge, you try to yank her to time to go, she'd swim back to the middle, and I had to get in there to pull her out of the water. She just loves water.
So you'd have to go in and swim after her in order to get it. Yes. Would she swim away?
Oh yeah, it's like a game. Then it turns into a game of like tag for her. She's like, "You're not gonna get me." I'm like, "Oh yes, I am."
That's Tim's awesome. Out there, Michael Phelpsing, just trying to get away.
Yeah, I'm not quite that fast.
Yeah, right.
But so she was gonna be a guide dog, and her love of water unfortunately did not make her a good fit for that program.
Right? Yeah,
put a damper.
Your imagination could take.
Wonder why you're getting guided to water every time you're walking the dog.
Yeah, I can see that. She pulls hard when she gets around water. She's pulling hard. So her love of water kind of made her not such a great fit for that program. So that's when the ATF got her from the Guide Dog Foundation. So I'm pretty sure she had lots of really good training and obedience, and they taught her lots of skills with the Guide Dog Foundation. So when I got her, she's always been very mild-mannered and very calm, which is good for me. So she's good around kids, and I have kids at home. Yeah. And she's good around the house, and don't have to worry. She's not a bite dog, so don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty sweet gig. I enjoy it.
Yeah. So and you got 2 kids, like you said. I think you said 2. If not, you have 2 kids.
Yes.
So she does good around them, but what about is this a dog that you have to potty train, or does it just come natural? Like
she was already house trained, fortunately, when I got her. And she stays inside the house. If you were to come over to my house and you didn't know she was a police dog, you wouldn't know any different. Right. She's like a pet. She plays good with my other dog, and kind of is good with the kids, but kind of just ignores them. Doesn't really pay much attention to them. So
how long was the training?
10 weeks. So training was 10 weeks in Front Royal, Virginia, which is about an hour west of DC. So it's kind of up in some mountains a little bit, and it's a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
Really good time, really good people out there, good trainers, good people.
Was it a pretty big class you were a part of, or?
So they only do 8 at a time.
Okay.
Is the max they do. So there was 8 people in my class. It's kind of scattered throughout the country. We had people a guy from Miami, North Carolina, Boston, Texas, Missouri.
Oh wow, all over.
Puerto Rico, all sorts of people. So
and you guys train every week still too, right?
Yeah. So part of her the methodology that we use is food reward. So I'm doing some sort of training exercise with her every day, 3 times a day. So it's very time consuming. I like it because we're always getting better. If you're doing anything 3 times a day, you're getting better at it. Whether it's shooting basketball or running, or
especially if there's food involved.
It's food involved. Yeah.
It's my motivator too.
Dude, if I could run 3 times a day and give me food at the end of it, I don't know how productive
we could food train each other.
Let's do it, bro.
Just take donuts to the gym after work.
Right? Yeah.
So I like that part. It's very time consuming, but we're always getting better, and stuff like that.
That's good.
So,
yeah.
So on the podcast too, we also ask questions. Sometimes we didn't get any questions this week, but I can just project what some questions might be.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that she gets a food reward, so that's the only way she gets fed is by
Right.
a reward. What do you say to those that might think that's rude or inhumane? What do you say to that?
For sure. My first thing that I come up with is that dogs are animals.
Yeah.
You know, there's and we made dogs into pets.
Right.
Before they were pets, they were wild and they worked for their food. It's natural.
Yeah.
And it's natural. It's in their nature to want to work for their food and look for their food. We kind of made, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and I'm not speaking on anybody's behalf,
No.
we made pets lazy. We made dogs lazy
Yeah.
when we, just give them their food. So it's natural for them to want to hunt and look for their food.
Yeah.
That's natural. That's all she's known.
Yeah.
If you're training a dog, usually you're training a dog with food. So I promise everyone she's not missing any meals. I'm very rigorous.
Yeah.
She's getting plenty of food.
Yeah.
So
No.
she's not missing out. It's kind of, and then it's the other part of it is it's like a game for her. She enjoys it. I spend more time with her than my family, my kids, anyone else. So she's constantly with me. She doesn't whine or anything.
Yeah.
When we're doing training exercises. So
That's true. We've been around him a couple times, and I've never heard her whine.
No, she's
Bro,
she's super calm.
She's very quiet.
I got a Chihuahua at home that whines when you go to the bathroom. And leave him out. So,
let me in there.
Yeah, right.
So it's there are people that say it's not so great of an idea that they think could be cruel, but I think it's good. People work for their food.
Yeah.
People work to eat too.
Right.
No, different way.
We're with you. We get it and everything too. We just like to bring up those questions that we know we're probably going to get asked.
The other
too.
thing too, we've posted Mantra several times on social media because she's a huge hit with people, and we always get people commenting asking if she wears a vest.
Yeah.
If not, why does she not wear a vest? Can you kind of explain?
Yeah. So the first thing is so Mantra, like I said earlier, Mantra's not a bite dog. So she's like a pet. She's kind of defenseless.
Yeah.
So because of that, I never get her out of the car unless the scene is secure and scene is safe. So if I show up to a scene, I'll get out and I'll assess and make sure everything's under control and safe for her. And that's my job, is to make sure that she's safe. I'm taking care of her. So she doesn't get out of the car unless the scene's safe. So that's where, in my opinion, she doesn't really need a vest.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is she's slow already. We're very, dogs take after their handlers. We're both slow.
Yeah.
So she's slow, and I think a vest would just slow her down even more.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the two big things. Is I'm not going to get her out of the car unless it's safe to do so. And then she's already slow. A vest would just make her slower.
and you had touched on, she can find spent shell casings and everything like that. What's the, I guess, let's say a scene happened on the 1st. What's the furthest out that you guys have actually had a positive recovery of something that you knew happened days before, hours, weeks, whatever?
Yeah. So we had a excuse me. We had a drive-by on a Saturday one time, and I went back on the following Wednesday, so 4 days later, and she found a casing 4 days later.
That's awesome.
So in a real-life scenario that long, and in training scenarios at my house, she's found casings that are, a week to 10 days old.
That's awesome.
So I always try to keep casings in my yard
that
are aging at some sort, and so to challenge her as much as we can. So
what's the value of these casings for people who don't understand?
For sure,
So
yeah. So there's the technology through a program called NIBIN, where we can compare casings, and we can say if there's a scene over here and a scene over here, we can bring the casings together, and we can say that the same gun fired these same casings, these same rounds.
Yeah.
So that's very important in to help address violent crime and stuff like that. That we can say that the same gun is used in multiple scenes, and that may help us lead to a suspect.
So you were on the community response team. Great team to be a part of. I agree with everything that you said there. So adding Mantra to the mix of what you've already learned throughout your career, how has that been, just working with her, like the enjoyment that you get or anything like that you could tell us?
Yeah, so working with the community response team, you learn, and you should learn a lot about search and seizure laws and stuff like that, and I think you would agree with that.
Yeah,
that's extremely important in law enforcement on what we can and cannot do.
Right.
And that bleeds over to Mantra as well. We need to have legal authority if I'm going to go search a yard or a house like that.
Yeah.
So that's those two mesh really well. The other thing is that I don't just I don't go to a scene and just stand with her until I'm needed. You know, I try to get out there and do as much self-initiated stuff as I can. I want to go help, interview witnesses or help knock on houses to see if anybody saw stuff. So I still like to do that stuff as much as I can because I want to be active and useful and helpful. So I don't want to just be the casings guy or the dog handler or stuff like that. I want to try to contribute as much as I can. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, the CRT is it's a good gig for people that are self-motivated and don't need to be told what to do every day, in my opinion. Yeah. Because you can do a lot of good in those spots. Yeah. Same with CP too. So
absolutely.
You did that.
Yeah.
It's really good for people that don't need to be told what to do and enjoy getting out there and doing good work. Yeah. So.
Did you have any favorite officers out west that you got to see on a daily basis?
I can't think of any.
Anyone in particular?
Yeah, think of
no? With a mustache and a pink shirt.
Chad worked out west.
Yeah, I did.
Before you,
I started my career out west.
Yeah, that's what I
Dang,
heard.
bro, you didn't even say me.
I said you before him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's okay.
Other than that, nothing's coming to mind.
I love you too.
Well, we play a game also on the podcast, man, called One Has to Go. Have you ever played this game?
Oh man, I'm sure I have.
Right. So it's 4 things. You say 4 things, and you got to choose one has to go forever.
Okay. Forever.
No more.
Forever.
It's gone from the planet.
Is it going to be
from the universe?
Trevor, Chad.
Yeah. Well, we thought about saying okay, you got your 2 kids,
me,
the wife,
Chad,
and
Mantra.
Oh, you don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. So this week we'll put up on the screen. It's basketball, football, baseball, or hockey. And we're talking watching, playing, anything. Got to go forever.
It disappears from the face of the planet. This sport never existed.
Okay, I can say that these 2 are safe for sure.
Okay.
And that's basketball and football. Those are safe. So we're down to baseball and hockey. Yeah. Oh man. I would have to go gone forever. It would be hockey. Maybe hockey.
That's what I would say too.
For hockey,
because here's the thing: you got to keep basketball and football for sure.
For sure.
You got to keep baseball because that's America's pastime.
That's exactly. I said it's a tradition. It's a tradition with it.
See, what is summertime without a baseball game and a hot dog?
There's only 2 things basketball is known for, right? That you, at least if you're watching, right? You can think of the NBA Finals when that's the only time they play defense. Yeah. And then March Madness.
Right.
Right.
Oh, March Madness might be the best sporting event.
You're right.
Of the year.
100%.
But prior to that, you're taking away just 6 weeks. I think March Madness.
I watch a lot of basketball. Oh, I watch a lot of basketball.
But hockey is the only sport where you can fight and not get fined or suspended,
kicked out of the game.
You
get 2 minutes in the box.
Literally hitting people. So
yeah, but I'm talking about these guys just full on
they're
hey,
punching
man, you
each
hit me
other
with a stick and I'm going to knock you out. Not that we condone violence. So I hear people trolling me already, and we're not doing that. But I don't know, man. I think I would probably get rid of. Basketball.
Basketball.
No, I would say as a normal, non-athletic person, hockey is the hardest to relate to because it takes the most skill, in my opinion.
That's true. It's true. Hard to follow. Anybody even just keeping an eye on the puck is hard sometimes.
Anybody can go play basketball. Yeah. You can go play flag football. Anybody can go play baseball. You can go play catch.
That's true.
Hockey is, in my opinion, would be the hardest to relate to.
Because I don't even think I could do a pickup street hockey game.
That's true.
That wouldn't even be.
We were talking to Isham.
Field hockey, I guess there is.
We were talking to Isham earlier this week, and he played in some event over the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
For hockey. Event? Yeah, and he was trying to prepare weeks before, and he was like, "There's no lift that you can do that just prepares you for all the muscles you need to hit for hockey."
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd say hockey is the hardest. Like guys that are good at it.
Well, because you got to skate, so you're balancing, and then you also have to be good with the stick and the puck, and that takes so much hand-eye coordination.
Right.
And watching some of those guys send slap shots.
I just been disappointed with basketball lately. You know, besides this year, the Jayhawks winning the national championship, but.
You're not a Warriors fan?
I'd say you're wrong.
No, not a Warriors fan. My son is, so he was extremely happy about that. Yeah. So, but yeah. Well, man, you are the first person we also brought a drink to.
Yes.
So
thank you.
Shout out.
It.
You're welcome.
Who
man.
paid for this?
We did. So we did. I Venmoed him money. He went and got it.
We don't have a budget for this.
Yeah, we don't have a budget.
Well, you don't have a joint bank account either. So one of you paid for it.
Yeah. Well, it came out of his bank account.
I paid for it. He Venmoed me.
Yeah. So big shout out to
joint venture.
The DV sex crime detectives who were like, "You don't give your guests coffee? Here you go. There's the first one."
We'll see if that continues. Yeah. We'll have to keep that in my budget.
But we need you to, because you work for
the police department.
The police department. Yes.
You trying to think of his supervisor?
No, I was like, I drew a blank for some reason. I kept on thinking Canine. My bad. No, you work for Sergeant Jonker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need you were the first dog handler to be able to come on the show. So
yeah.
He's next.
Jonker'd be good.
He'd be the next dog handler or somebody else on the team, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, but we know you're busy, man. We appreciate the time. Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's good.
Thank you, Mantra, for being here.
Yeah, Mantra, you. Yeah. She passed out. She was out.
She heard that.
She's like, oh.
She heard her name.
That was a good shot.
This is her most of the time. Just relaxing.
What do you? Chilling. She's like super shiny too. I know the lights on her, but she's.
That's just her coat, man.
Is that fish oil or?
She's due for a bath. I do give her some Willactin. I think. That helps with.
Well, what?
Willactin.
Willactin.
It's a supplement for dogs.
That? Never heard of that.
Yeah, I think it's WELATIN.
Okay.
Willactin.
That was one of those words
missing a C somewhere.
Willactin. It's probably a silent P in there.
It's like an oil thing. So that's probably has to do with it.
Oh yeah,
I give my cats fish oil that makes their coats nice and
yeah. Eggs do that too for dogs.
Interesting.
Yeah, but anyway, Tim, we know you got to go, brother. We appreciate you. We're
Thanks
gonna get a refill, and we'll be right back.
That was Officer Wescott and Mantra. A dog always brightens the day.
I'm telling you, we were like, hey, Mantra, what you...
We got to get a dog in here every time.
I'm telling you.
She's such a good dog.
Yeah.
And the work that they do is super important because he touched a little bit about the casings, but that ties in with Operation Save a Casing, which we're always plugging on here and online and on social media, which is an opportunity for gun owners to take part in our efforts to combat gun violence and gun crime. And so essentially the program works by gun owners taking 2 spent shell casings from each firearm, keeping them in a Ziploc bag or an envelope separate from where you keep your firearm. You put the serial number and all that on the envelope. Then if your gun is ever stolen, which we've seen time and time again,
lots of
guns
times
being stolen from vehicles. If your gun is ever stolen, you can turn those casings in and we can enter those into the NIBIN database that Wescott talked about. We can compare those casings with casings that we find at scenes and track where the gun's being used, when it's being used, and then when we find that gun, we're able to pin more charges on the person that has it. So,
but if my gun's stolen and you found it and I gave you my serial number, how come you can't just give me my gun back?
Well, because we have to find the gun first, Chad.
No, but if you find the gun,
you
know what I mean?
Well, because it's possible that the gun was used in a crime,
right?
And it's evidence. So
and
until that case is closed,
true. And sometimes, if believe it or not, those suspects will file off a serial number to a weapon.
Correct.
So when that happens, at least the casings that you have to give to us, we can be able to say, hey, this is the gun that you originally had. Yes.
Yeah. So it aids us because they do take a lot of measures to prevent those guns from being identified and given back to the rightful owners. So it's a great program. It's really easy. You don't have to pay anything to be involved or anything. If you're a gun owner, just keep 2 shell casings from your firearm in an area separate from where you store it. You can find a lot of information on that program at our website, wichitapolice.com.
So going back to Mantra briefly, like I think it's incredible how he was saying like they had a scene that happened on Saturday and then the dog found it on Wednesday. Like this is Kansas. Like you could have like a tornado, an avalanche, maybe not an avalanche, but a lot of snow and everything like that. Through all those elements, the dog's nose is so powerful, right? Yeah. So in the podcast I've said I was a dog handler in the military. You know, like when we go into like a pizza place, right? You want a pizza ranch, you smell pizza, chicken, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, the dog smells the yeast that goes into the dough, each individual pepperoni. Like that's how good their
dirt
nose.
On the hand of the guy that's making the pizza in the back.
Yeah. The different mocos or burgers that the kid like wiped his nose with before. Yeah. He smells that.
Dogs can smell everything. Mm-hmm. Some that say they can smell your emotions.
I believe it. Well, that's why they have some therapy dogs too that recognize like anxiety and
There's
depression.
a dog that like smelled cancer in a lady, I thought, and they were training dogs to like they can smell people and tell which people have cancer and which people
they did
don't.
a movie on it. I don't know if it was based on a true story, but it would seem like it's legit. So
am I quoting movies here or am I quoting facts?
I saw that
I'll have to double check.
So the dog in the movie, the dog would like walk up, and if he smelled somebody, he recognized that scent to belong to cancer or something. The dog would like lay down and then cross his paws, and they would confirm through tests, yes, this person had cancer.
I saw a movie once where a dog, I think it was a golden retriever, became a varsity athlete on a high school basketball team.
Bro, Airbud.
Crazy stuff these dogs can do.
One of the coolest shows you got to have your kids watch and stuff too. So, but you brought up the website.
Save a Casing on the website.
Yes.
That brings us to another segue to the website.
First off, if you need to, do you want to talk about how they can email us? Because we would like questions to be able to either ask our guests.
We don't have any questions to answer this time. So if you have questions, you can comment them on our YouTube page, Facebook page, or you can send them to policeweb@wichita.gov. Yeah. You can send your questions and us will answer them on the podcast as best as we can. And if you submit a question and it's answered, you can be entered for a chance to win a gun safe.
Yeah. And we've given one away already.
We gave one of those away.
Our website's pretty cool, wichitapolice.com.
We just got a new section on there too.
We did. If you go under investigations, you'll now see cold case unit. So we have a cold case section. They've been working for quite some time, but we now have a website up and running, or they're part of our website. Still adding a lot of files onto it and everything too, but very, very important section of this department to be able to bring justice to a lot of those families that the cases just went cold. So but yeah.
So the goal of that is just to keep public awareness of those cases. So there's information on each of the cases and ways that you can get in touch with the detectives if you have information that could assist them. We have a dedicated cold case unit that's actively working to solve these cases. So that's good.
Yep. And if you go on the website, both the Detective Rob Chisholm and Detective Addie Perkins, their phone numbers are on there. So if you have any information or tips that can lead to arrest, give them a call, reference those cold cases. So, but yeah.
We have a fun fact to close out the show today.
Yes. So WPD fun facts we're doing, right?
Yes.
So I've been searching diligently. I think that's a proper word there because we discussed before that my grammar is not so well. But anyway, I looked and found Detective Jerry Mailer was certified as the first bomb technician in Wichita in the time, and this was 1977, I want to say.
Interesting.
And during that time, the bomb unit was also created or started to be assigned. So,
have you seen the pictures of the old bomb truck that they had? I'll have to find some. I know Detective Bamberger has some pictures from the old bomb truck, and it's pretty cool. It's like just a white pickup with it's like a utility truck, and then they have a trailer on the back with basically like a big barrel that they use to dispose of like explosives. Yeah.
Did you see the bomb units video they did a couple years back
with the explosions? Yeah. Was that wasn't that it was like a dancing challenge thing?
I can't remember what dance it was because I was a part of the West Side one.
That was the big one that was going around.
Yeah. It was
what
like
was
2016.
That dance? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it.
Dude, it's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. My team took second. I was out of Patrol West when we did ours.
And the bomb squad got first.
Oh, yeah, because they cheated using
They had bomb suits.
Yeah,
and
flames going everywhere.
pyrotechnics.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
That'd be a cool unit to be on.
Dude, they do a lot of hard. It's a lot of hard work too.
That unit is the bomb.
Yeah, pun intended. So, but that'll wrap up this episode, dude. I think we're on 12 or 13 now. I'm not going to tell you which one.
I lost count.
Yeah,
I lost count.
But it's getting fun. I'm excited.
It's going well.
So,
we've got props now. So.
Yeah, and then hopefully just gets more bigger and better and badder. So
can't wait to see what things come next.
Yeah. All right, man. So I'll see you next week.
See you then.
All right, next week, guys. We'll see you later. Peace.
Bye.